It came out yesterday that Juan Soto, we talked about him last week, was quite impressed with the Jays and the Red Sox owners. He was quite impressed with them, apparently, with the Jays owners and the Red Sox owners.
Yeah, that and a quarter. It used to be that and a quarter. You could buy yourself a cup of coffee, but you can't even buy a cup of coffee now.
Yeah.
This is the 10 Minutes with Andrew podcast.
I found a picture of you. What hijacked my world that night.
Welcome back to 10 Minutes with Andrew. I'm, of course, Andrew. We get joined by Dad Mark Chansey. Welcome back to the show.
Man, you're wired this morning. Or yeah, you seem right hyped up.
Well,
how many coffees have you had?
None.
Well, that doesn't explain it. You must be glowing in the Leafs victory.
Yeah. 4-3 over Oilers overtime.
4-3 over the Oilers in overtime. I missed the first period because I was asleep.
You were.
I missed the second period because I was asleep. But I woke up in the second intermission, and I turned the game on. It was 2-1 for the Oilers. With 9 minutes left in the game, there was 2-1 for the Oilers, and I thought, the Oilers are probably the worst defensive team in the league.
Yeah, probably.
Have the worst goalie in the league, in Stuart Skinner.
One of, yeah.
And the Leafs are losing 2-1.
Yeah.
And about 30 seconds after that, score. And about 30 seconds after that, score. And they're up 3-2 now.
Then they lost the lead.
And they gave up an empty net goal, or Oilers pulled for an extra attacker. Now, on the goal that they tied, the Oilers tied, John Tavares lost his stick. And Connor McDavid swatted it away. So Tavares had to skate over to pick it up. By the rule, that's a penalty.
Yeah.
But if you wear number 97 and your name is Connor, I think the referees tend to look the other way on things like that.
Yeah.
Especially that late in the game when they're trying to tie things up.
I see, yeah.
But that's a penalty. You swat someone's stick away and they have to go further to get it, that's a penalty.
Yeah.
But not in that case. So, Leafs win in overtime.
They did. Mitch Marner.
I have to say, the Oilers are horrible defensively. And that Evan Bouchard should be a winger. He has no business whatsoever playing defense. He is pathetic when it comes to defense. If you saw the tying goal where Bobby McMahon outskated two defensemen to score the goal, Bouchard gave up at the blue line.
Yeah.
And then the puck went in the net and came out so fast, Bouchard thought it hit the crossbar. And then he started skating again because he got to go on offense. And sad.
It's a sad
And I've
team.
said they have a boatload of money put into their forwards, and they have a really strong forward group.
Remind you of anybody?
No defense. Well, Leafs have defense now.
Well,
no
true.
defense, no goaltending. Stuart Skinner, I read an article yesterday, doesn't care about his stats. It's all about the wins. Well, generally, if you
he's
have
not
better
wrong.
stats, you'll have more wins.
True.
But he gave up. The overtime goal was pretty. It was a perfect shot by Marner.
But I will say,
I got to think you want to stop that.
he
one.
is better than what Jack Campbell was for them.
I don't know, but the Oilers are going nowhere. The Oilers went to the Stanley Cup final last year. It was like the Canadians going a few years ago. Just a fluke.
But they had a lead.
The Canadians had goaltending.
Yeah. But the problem with the
Stuart
Oilers
Skinner may be on the Four Nations
yeah, I know.
team, which
He's
tells
the
you
starter, I think.
tells you how sad goaltending is in Canada right now.
I know.
Now, gone are the days of Carey Price
Couldn't be Marc-Andre
Eddie
Fleury.
Belfour and Curtis Joseph and Marc-Andre Fleury
couldn't
and
be, but he's still playing. Why can't it be him?
Brodeur.
Luongo.
Now we have nobody. We can't even. Our weakest position on that team will be goaltending.
Yeah, that's true.
And Ryan Reeves is going to get an extended vacation
Very much so.
for a dirty hit on Darnell Nurse. That was ugly. If you saw it, that was ugly.
Yeah.
And if you watch the Dangle podcast, LFR, he has a screenshot of the hit.
Video.
Darnell Nurse's head after the hit is turned more than 90 degrees. The way a head should not be turned.
Yeah.
So Reeves has had in 2020, I think he had a hit to the head suspension. He's had 3 suspensions in his career. And because he's Ryan Reeves and because it was a hit to the head, minimum 5 games, I would think. Probably 7, 8, maybe 10.
I would say.
But that's it, because the league will come out and say they're so concerned about the head and all this stuff. They have to blah, blah, blah. All that is fine and dandy, but it's crap when a league that allows bare knuckle brawling
Yeah.
is concerned about head
It's a
injuries.
good point.
No. And I'm not saying whether I'm for fighting or not for fighting, but you can't say you're very concerned about the head and then let people just attack each other with no helmets on and center ice, right?
Ryan Reeves, by the way, one of the only players still in the league not to wear a visor.
He's grandfathered.
He is indeed.
Yeah, I think there's 3.
Brent Burns is another one of them, I think.
I don't know if, maybe. I don't
Does
know.
he still play? I think so.
Yep.
I don't know. Yeah.
Carolina.
You're right. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So, that was the Pretenders brought us in, back on the Chain Gang.
Never heard that one before.
Haven't you?
No.
You're so young. You're so young.
I know.
Pretenders are a good band. What are we doing today, my son? Gotta be Leaf related.
Nope.
Because we're in such a good mood today after a win over the Oilers. Love beating the Oilers.
Yeah.
And I love watching the Oilers score and think they love scoring against Toronto and then they lose.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, I love beating the Oilers too.
Stolares was deadly again last night.
But it is not about the Leafs at all.
Oh, okay. What are we doing today, my son? Golf.
Today,
Yep.
we are ranking the worst moves of the Ross Atkins era.
Oh, my suffering Lord. Do I have a one for this? I do. Look at this one. That seems... You've totally brought me down now.
That is very, very true.
We're ranking the worst moves
Of the Ross
of the
Atkins.
Ross. 10 years as GM.
We did something similar to this a couple of weeks ago where we did best moves of the Brad Treliving era, but we're going to do worst of Ross Atkins.
We've done
era.
worse of Kyle Dubas.
We did worst of Kyle Dubas. That was a while ago.
Worst of Ross. Really?
And I have to be honest, when I was picking my moves here, it was hard to pick just 5 because there's so many. It's hard to pick just 5, but I did.
10 years at this, and the team is getting worse.
Well, I just want to say before I get into this, it came out yesterday that Juan Soto, we talked about him last week, was quite impressed with the Jays and the Red Sox owners. He was quite impressed with them, apparently, with the Jays owners and the Red Sox owners.
Yeah, that and a quarter. It used to be that and a quarter. You could buy yourself a cup of coffee, but you can't even buy a cup of coffee now.
Yeah.
That and $2.25, and no, you probably can't get a coffee for that.
$2.25.
That and a $5 bill, you can buy yourself a cup of
I
coffee.
don't know if that works either.
So big deal that Juan Soto was impressed with not just the Jays, Boston as well.
Yeah.
So no one's. How stupid is this? He's not going to Toronto.
Probably
Not a chance. He's going where the money is.
Mets.
And the Mets or the Yankees will be the highest bidder, in my opinion.
Probably.
I've been wrong.
Probably. I would assume.
So, how about this? You do yours,
Okay.
and if you don't have any that I have, I'll add them at the end.
Okay.
I have my worst all time,
Okay.
which I have a
I'm going to go 5
tie
to 1
for
here.
worst all time.
I'm going to go 5 to 1 here.
Actually, I have a 10-way tie for worst all time.
It's a good point. Yeah.
So,
All right, let's do drum roll.
relax over there. Hey, what are you, the producer now and everything, are you? You want a drum roll? I got to figure out...
I thought you were going to go into it.
I got to figure out the numbers. We didn't even have a game show theme for this.
We don't.
Wow. So,
So my number 5th,
number 5th. That's
that didn't work.
Well
that was,
done.
That was very correct.
You taking English?
Writing.
Writing?
English next semester.
Number 5th?
Number 5
Yeah.
for the 5th worst move by Ross Atkins. Paul DeYoung.
Oh, I had that up higher.
In my opinion, is Paul DeYoung, and the reason I say Paul, we've told this story so many times. Bichette was hurt at the time.
Yeah.
A couple of trade deadlines ago.
Yeah.
And Bo Bichette was hurt at the time, and they needed a shortstop. And they went out and they picked up Paul DeYoung, and I can't remember the amount of games now, 13, 18, however many it was, and he had like 1 hit or something.
I think he went like 1 for 43.
Yeah, it was like 1 for 43 or something.
He was around for about a week.
and then he got DFA'd, went to the Giants. Now he's with the White Sox, where he was last year.
And midway through the season, had more home runs and RBIs than
talked about
Vladdy.
that too.
Yeah.
But that's number 5 for me.
I wouldn't disagree. He was on my list.
Yeah.
Oh, you want another drum
Yeah.
roll? Okay.
I forgot you're adding them at the end. I forgot that.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have the same ones.
Probably. I would say.
Number 4.
Number 4.
Number 4th?
Number 4.
Number 4th of all time.
I did-
Ross
I said that
Atkins.
wrong.
Best move in air quotes.
Worst. Yeah, best move. Yeah.
I'm using air quotes.
Yeah, best move. Teoscar trade. That's number 4 for me.
I don't have them ranked, but he's on the list.
Yeah. So they traded him a couple seasons ago to Seattle for Eric Swanson,
Yeah, that didn't work out.
and that did not work out for the Blue Jays. It did work out for the Dodgers.
Swanson was in the minors this year. Teoscar's got a World Series ring.
Yeah, yeah.
We didn't win that trade.
To be honest, when Teoscar was in Seattle, he didn't do much of note. But when he went to the Dodgers, that's when he really kind of came alive.
It'd be nice to have Teoscar now, wouldn't it?
It would indeed.
Yep.
But yeah, so it did not work out for us with Teoscar.
That was on my list.
We also got another prospect. Adam Macko is his name in that trade, but we haven't seen him yet. We haven't heard of him, and apparently he's quite injury prone.
I think he's 11,
Why is he 11?
turning 12. Years old, isn't he?
Is he?
I don't know. First I've heard his name, to be honest with you. So I don't expect much out of that. So I agree with that one, Teoscar.
I got that, by the way, that Adam Macko thing, I got that from Brian O'Reilly.
Did you?
He was the one who told me that said it was Adam Macko was also in the trade.
Well, the O'Reillys would know.
They would.
So, number third.
I don't know why I said
Number
that.
third.
I don't know why I said that. The hiring of Charlie Montoyo. For me is number 3.
I did not have that on the list.
You did not have that on the list.
Yeah, no, I didn't. That was, not a big fan of Charlie Montoyo, but that was like a transitional phase where they had
But it lasted too long.
perhaps.
It lasted way too long.
But there's been moments with John Snyder when I've thought, boy, I'd like to have Charlie Montoyo back.
I still think Montoyo's worse than Schneider, to be honest. It's close with the two of them, but I would say Montoyo's worse than Schneider. And so they hired him after they got rid of Gibby, because they weren't going to keep Gibby anymore, because, well, I mean, it was Atkins, so he probably didn't want to stay. And Montoyo lasted.
No, it wasn't that Gibby didn't want to stay. It was more that they weren't going to keep him. Because he
No,
was,
but
he
I
was an
don't-
Anthopoulos guy.
Yeah, but
Gibby
that's
probably
the-
didn't want to stay. I agree.
But that's what I was saying.
Didn't
like-
matter if he did or didn't.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to get to stay because he was an Anthopoulos guy.
Yeah.
And Shapiro and his clown friend Atkins were not having any part of Anthopoulos left over on that team.
Yeah.
But they were happy to take Guerrero.
He lasted, what, 3 years, Montoyo, I think it was?
A long time.
And
It was also
too
through
long.
the COVID era.
It was through the
and
COVID
all that
era.
stuff.
He was known for pulling pitchers too early. And
Not that that's ever happened before.
no. So that's my number 3.
Okay. I know what number one's going to be, and we both agree. So let's hear your number second.
Do we know what number? Yeah, I was probably do. I would say.
Number second, we need a drum roll.
Yeah. Number 2.
Number second.
Number 2.
Number second.
Number 2. 2023 end of season press conference.
Oh, that was my number one.
That was your number 1, because my number 1 is different, but that's my number 2 for a couple of reasons, obvious reasons. The Barrios thing, and we've talked
So you're
about
talking
this
about
so
the
many
press
times.
conference when in the playoff game, Barrios got pulled
Yeah.
like after 3+ innings of great baseball.
Yeah,
Fans are not happy. He gets up before the mics and says he didn't know anything about it. It was John Snyder's call. And then a couple of days later, the president got up and said, "Oh yeah, I knew about it."
Oh yeah, I know about it.
So he's a liar.
He's quite the liar.
He's dishonest.
He's dishonest.
There's a lot of people in the sporting world that I don't like just because, I don't know, their personality rubs me the wrong way or their arrogance or something like that. I don't like Ross Atkins because he's a dishonest person.
He's very dishonest.
And to lie to a fan base about not knowing that move was coming, the announcers and the game said it might happen.
Said it was going to happen. Yeah.
So everybody knew about it, and then it happened.
Yeah.
And then he tried to say, I didn't know anything about that.
I didn't know nothing
Not
about
a clue. So that was actually not going to be my first one. The first one, I know what you're going to. Can I say it?
Yeah, you can say it.
Because I know what it's going to be.
Do the drum roll. You can say it.
Number first.
Number 1.
Number first. If I'm wrong, I'll buy you lunch. Gabby Marino.
Indeed. That is my number 1 every day of the week.
So they trade
That
Gabby
is the
Marino and
worst
Lourdes
move.
Gurriel Jr. to the Arizona Diamondbacks in exchange for Gold Glover Dalton Varsho, who has just won another Gold Glove but couldn't hit a beach ball.
Couldn't hit a beach
And
ball.
defense does not win baseball games. Offense does. He struggles to hit 200, has for 2 seasons now.
Indeed.
And we gave away the best catching prospect in the game, who, if you had, here's another one of Ross's bad moves, saying that he's in good shape with Kirk and Heineman in
Yeah.
the catching position. If you had Marino and Heineman, I might say, yeah, we're okay.
Yep.
But Kirk, no. Heineman, no. That's the worst move of all time by Ross Atkins, easily.
In my
now
opinion.
he's stuck with Varsho.
Well, you said the 2023 end of season was your number one.
Yeah, I kind of flip flop.
Yeah.
I got another couple of them.
Me too. I got a couple of honorable mentions too.
Oh, really? Okay, let's hear 'em.
Well, I was just gonna say, saying power is low hanging fruit is another one of them. That was horrible.
Yeah.
Saying that, or trading Donaldson at the time for Merriweather, that was a horrible move. Letting Edwin walk to get Kendrys Morales.
That one was bad. But again,
The George Springer contract too, because that has not worked out.
George Springer playing the way we thought he could at $25 million would probably be okay. George Springer playing the way he is now at $25 million, not a good deal. Not a good look.
I might say Hyunjin Ryu too.
I don't put that one as much on Atkins, but Edwin was again an Anthopoulos guy.
Yep.
And they did not want any Anthopoulos pieces left over because they were going to be creative and build it their way.
Yeah.
And look how that's done for us.
Look how that's done for us.
I don't think letting Marcus Stroman go was high on his list of good moves at all. We could have used Marcus Stroman right through the whole past few years. But again, an Anthopoulos guy.
Yeah.
Not keeping him around. The press conference, and Matt Haig.
Matt Haig, gone.
We don't know who Matt Haig is.
He's gone now.
We don't know what Matt Haig did. But at the press conference in May on the long weekend when he stood up there and talked about everything, he specifically named Matt Haig and the addition to the team and how, quote, incredible he has been.
Well, he's gone now.
Well, he wasn't that incredible that 6 months later he's no longer with the team.
Yeah.
So I got to say the Matt Haig move is up there for me because I don't know who he is. I wouldn't know him if I ran over him in my car. I don't know what he did, but he's now gone, so he wasn't that incredible. I also all little moves too, like Don Mattingly is now the offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Like those little stupid moves he makes, it's him trying
Okay.
to be creative. They're going to try to build a roster creatively. Go out and get some baseball players and win some frickin' baseball games. That's all we need you to do, there, Ross.
You know, I could name some more when they, during COVID, when they signed Tanner Roark and when they had, remember when they signed Clay Buchholz and that didn't work out for him. And
Usually, if Atkins is involved, it's not going to work out.
but if you could think of one good move that Ross Atkins made, if there is one, what is it?
His best move?
I would think the Barrios extension, the whole Barrios thing, like the trade and the extension would be the best one that he made.
That's not going to hurt, I don't
Yeah.
think. Some of the pitching moves, like Gosman and Bassett, has been.
At the time, now they're getting old. They're
Bassett was a good addition,
declining.
but it's
Another bad one.
it's a short list
Yeah.
of good moves.
Another bad one, Yariel Rodriguez. That has not turned out well for him so far.
A little early on that one still.
Yeah, well,
Rodriguez is not. That was his first year pro,
yeah.
so we'll see. But to me,
Handling the Joey Votto situation.
that was. I don't think that's him.
Yeah, well,
That's the president, who's just as much of a knob as Atkins is.
you really could say worst moves of the Atkins and Shapiro because Shapiro's involved. In
Oh,
all
they're
this
horrible.
Too.
They shouldn't be
Yeah.
there. There's no doubt they should not be there. And I think they have a very short leash for this year, I hope, if Rodgers cares.
Bringing back Kiermaier on that much money, that wasn't a good move.
Well, actually, number one for me, publicly stating we're going to be defense first.
That would make sense.
And going out and getting Varsho and Kiermaier and all these fellas that can hit and watching the team take a nosedive over the past 2 seasons.
Number one for me,
That's our third number one. Yeah? What's your third number one?
taking the job.
Oh, yeah. Saying yes?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's his worst move.
Well, you're not going to turn down the money.
No.
But Blue Jays are not in a good situation with him at the helm. And I am shocked that he's even allowed to be there after this long
Well, because Shapiro's there.
and making these moves. It is the clown show continues. So on the one hand, we're feeling pretty good about the Leafs. On the other hand, we're feeling pretty cruddy about the Blue Jays.
And they're not getting Juan
But Juan
Soto.
Soto was impressed by the presentation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ross Atkins takes that to heart, I think. The fact that he was impressed, he likes that.
So was Otani. Otani was so impressed, he got on a private plane to
Allegedly.
Toronto that somehow when it got here, he wasn't on it.
Somehow it was Dragon's Den when he Robert Herjavec.
I don't know.
I
don't know.
And it wasn't just that. He did visit their Dunedin complex, Otani. Remember?
Well, you got to go and look at the facilities you're going to be training in.
Yeah.
It's all crap. Otani knew where he was going.
He knew from the
Right from the
the
start.
very moment where he was going.
So that's enough bad talk, because I don't want to do any more shows about Ross Atkins.
Well, you're Blue Jay fans. You're going to do more shows about Ross
The
Atkins.
next one we do will be announcing the firing of Shapiro and Atkins. Other than that, I don't
was
want
gonna
to
do this
anything on the Blue Jays management.
After Atkins got fired, but it's going to be another year. So,
We didn't even mention putting John Snyder as manager,
another one, yeah.
right? Could have gone out and got a major league manager, but nope. We're going to
Nope.
go with our minor league guy because that's the way we roll here in Toronto.
Yeah, you could have mentioned...
It could go on and on and on and on and on. Let's have that happen.
How about like the Aaron Sanchez, like, or no, the Kikuchi trade was fine, I guess.
Well, the Kikuchi trade was fine if we got Kikuchi back.
Yeah. I was gonna. How
I
about this?
I don't think we're getting Kikuchi back.
Giving Tulo away for free.
Again,
Anthopoulos guy.
Tulo was injury prone, but he was an Anthopoulos guy that Shapiro said he sold the farm to get Tulo and David Price, and over those couple of years they brought in everybody to make a run at it. Shapiro was highly critical of Anthopoulos for that because the cupboards were bare. We're 10 years into Ross Atkins. Our cupboards have never been more bare.
Exactly.
So don't go giving me that crap,
about-
Shapiro.
At the time, Matt Chapman getting him at the time was a good move. He didn't work out very well because he didn't hit. But
I didn't see much out of Matt Chapman. He's like another Varsho.
yeah, kind of.
Great at his position in the field. Can't hit when you need him to.
Yeah,
But that's it. You know, Mr. Bafflegab will continue to give us content.
he will.
So we're thankful for that, although it
That's
is painful.
why. That's the only good thing he does is he gives us content,
He gives us a lot of that.
and that's the one thing he can do.
But I would rather have a really good team that excites me
too.
than a GM that gives us content.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I think that's it.
All right.
You think?
Yeah.
You got anything else over there?
I don't.
All right. We got a lot of work to get done today.
We do.
We do. Take us home, son.
So thank you for listening and watching to this episode of 10 Minutes with Andrew. Find us on YouTube. Be sure to like and subscribe and comment. We'll be back in the middle of the week with a Would You Rather.
Would you rather? And then next weekend, no Ross Atkins.
Probably not.
All right.
All right.
See you later.
See you later.
Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons and turn on notifications to be notified when we upload new content. You can also connect with us at andrewchansey.com.